Hello and welcome to another Modpack overview. This time we're looking at Better Minecraft for Forge. There are more than 200 mods in here, so it's quite a big mod pack. So without further waiting, let's start into the overview. So the first category is small things. So you're gonna find in this category every mod that is very tiny but very helpful. So for example, the first one is called Just Another Rotten Flesh to Leather mod. Quite a long name, but very helpful. So basically you can put the rotten flesh into the furnace and use it with coal together and it's gonna produce leather. So very helpful for actually using your rotten flesh, which you're probably gonna have stacks full. So yeah, this is gonna basically everything the whole mod does. So next up we have Clay slabs. Basically what this mod does, it only breaks into half slabs. So basically if I want to remove only the top half slab, it's just gonna do that, or the bottom, it's gonna remove that, and so forth. So very simple, very helpful though when it comes to building. So then we come into looking into herd mentality. Herd mentality basically does, like if I hit this one, every other sheep is interacting as well with it. That's normally how it should be. So if I kill one of the sheeps, the other ones are gonna interact with each other. But I think it is dependent onto my game mode. So if I have, for example, survival, yeah, now you see it. They're running all from me, or they're all gonna interact with each other. So it's basically herd mentality. Then we have villagers wear armor. I couldn't spawn villagers here with armor, it's just really weird, but basically villagers have now armor, which is very helpful, or well, it's more, it's more helpful for the people who like to have a challenge. So this mod is very beautiful for that. Drops certain loots, like the loots for villagers have now like armors and swords and stuff. Lock-in protection, very small mod, but helps in the multiplayer section. Basically what it does is, if you spawn into a world, you have a small time of protection where you can't be hurt or hit. Very helpful if you have people on the server who are annoying. Well, you're protected for some seconds, and that's very helpful. Mushroom tweaks. Mushroom tweaks is basically you have brown and red mushrooms and you can configure them actually. So very customizable when it comes to these mobs. So if you want to have like a farm for these ones, you can use this one tiny little mod to tweak and to configure the mushrooms. Next up we have more zombie villagers. Basically, well, how the title itself says, there is a higher chance that zombie villagers actually spawn. So, next we have one place sleeping. One place sleeping is very helpful for multiplayer servers, well, in general multiplayer, because, like, yeah, you can sleep even though the other ones are not in bed, and then very helpful for actually, yeah, turning the day cycle to day. So seals. Seals is basically, it combines achievements and the player description or the information about the player. So if you have someone running around and he has certain achievements, it will say under his name a certain title. So we're gonna come to achievements later on in the mod pack. But basically you have titles under player names. Sit. So sit is basically you can sit on half slabs as well as on stairs. I can show you this way. So very nice to use actually stairs for furniture. Then we have Stay True texture pack. So basically the texture pack that you see here is that one that comes with the mod pack. I really like it. Just especially for like the floor and for like the trees. Then like the author or the creator of the mod pack, of the texture pack, I mean, is basically looking after a style which is not too much away from the real Minecraft, which is, I think, very nice and very fitting. The whole mod pack as well is basically trying to not go so far away from the original Minecraft, but implementing new features which help to the vanilla feel. So torch slab mod. Yeah, well, simple, you can place now torches on slabs. Village spawn point. Village spawn point, basically if you start in a new world, you're gonna spawn in a village. And that is the original spawn point, so you always have a little bit of startup gear, I think, in the village. Very helpful for actually exploring, and well, you can easily like get beds and stuff. Villager names. So you see the villagers have now names. They are random, but you also can change them in the config. So if you want to have certain names, you can put them in as well. But that is everything in small things. So let's go to the next category, which is crafting and cooking. So next up is crafting and cooking. This mod doesn't have really much in this category, but as I find out, actually it doesn't need much more than that. I think the mod pack is very nicely balanced, and it's one of a type that has enough food for you if you need, or like real recipes, tons of recipes you're gonna have in this one. So starting with Abnormal's Delight. Abnormal's Delight is basically just an integration between Abnormal's mods and Farmer's Delight. So you have some blocks from different types of woods that you can use as pantry, for example, here, or other kitchen utilities. Basically it's integration mod for kitchen things. Croptopia. So Croptopia offers you new crops, and you can use these ones to have new, well, basically food or new recipes. For example, like these pizza, sandwiches, tortillas, or like enchiladas, burritos. Very beautiful. Or cakes. Yum yum. Anyway, going up to the next one. Edibles. Edibles is... I'm not quite sure if I would actually put it into this category, but I think it fits quite, like, it fits into this one. So basically, you have normally like all these loot things from mobs, and you can use them now to eat them, and you're gonna have a buff on the side. So everything, or well, all of these that are in the chest have a certain buff to it, only for a small time. But very helpful if you actually are in a fight situation, or if you have tons of those things. I think they quite come in handy, and they have now, well, another thing that you can use it with. So, and the last two ones in this category are Farmer's Delight. Farmer's Delight is very big. Well, when you look from a food perspective, we have new cooking recipes. We have different ways of cooking. And so you can see all the things that come with Farmer's Delight. I can type in here Farmer's Delight. These are all the items that come with Farmer's Delight. So a lot of crafting recipes, a lot of cooking recipes, I would say more. And it's also a different way of cooking, as you see. You have now a pot here, a crock pot I think it's called. You have crates that you can store things in. So you can create a real kitchen, which is really, really cool, I think. And you have a safety net. I don't know why, but very helpful as well. And then we have Farmer's Delight Cookbook. Basically, it's the book that helps you get started with Farmer's Delight. You can look into the basics here. What do you need? Cutting boards and stuff. So you don't have to look up on a wiki or so, a Wikipedia or something. You have it all in the game itself. So let's go to the next category. Next up, we have furniture, decorations, and building blocks. So everything you need actually for building these beautiful buildings or other things you're gonna find in here. So we're gonna start with additional banners. Additional banners gives you these new recipes. You can use the loom for it to have the basically the pattern and craft new banners basically. That's everything you can do with this one. Then you have additional bars. So you have new type of bars instead of just iron bars. You have golden ones, acacia ones, birch, and you have also these nice ones on the floor. So very nice if you build a stronghold or something like that. Very beautiful bars for the ground as well. So then we have additional blocks, the stone edition. So it's a variety basically. So normally you have tons of different materials, and this one basically is only a variation of these ones. So like stairs, we have new stairs from volcanic ones or diorite stairs, with bloodstone slabs, granite slabs, and everything else you're gonna find basically if you use these ones. You can see in here there are other blocks here, very beautiful. So basically new varieties of the original vanilla blocks. Then we have bamboo everything. So basically now bamboo has a building block, or well, you can use them for building blocks if you want, for like jungle type houses basically. Yep, there's nothing more to it than these stuff that you see here. Then we have dark paintings. Dark paintings gives you tons of new paintings. I can show you, for example, here. Normally you can use now the paintings here. You have a variety of paintings in this mod pack. Depending on where you put the picture, basically, you have new possibilities or bigger paintings. So I can only use this one, for example. But dark paintings adds new paintings. So next up we have horizontal paints, basically glass paints on the floor. Very helpful. Instead of using glass blocks, you can now use these ones, which are way thinner and very more, well, I think way more beautiful than actually the blocks. So next up we have Macaw's paintings. Macaw's paintings, well, still more paintings. So well, these ones are some are Macaw's, some are from the dark paintings, and later on we can implement actually more paintings. So the one who created this mod pack really likes paintings, obviously. So yep, another painting mod. More crafting tables. So normally you have this one crafting table, which I think is the oak one. Now you have it with different type of wood. So these are not all, but a lot of different ones. So for every new wood type, we have now a crafting table. So next up we have paintings plus plus. So what is the difference between these ones, the other ones and this one? It's basically you can implement with paintings plus plus new paintings if you want. So if you have basically drawn your own paintings, you can implement them in here. And there are also some which you can already download. Just look onto the mod page from paintings plus plus, and there is already one pack actually to download for free, which you can implement into this mod. Then we have supplementaries. I'm gonna throw this away. Supplementaries is basically adding tons of new small stuff. So basically, for example, like these jars, which are quite beautiful with fireflies in it. Wow. Then we have a wind vane. I think I'm not quite sure if I pronounced that rightly. A candle holder, an hourglass, and so forth. So a lot of new small things for actually making your house a little bit more beautiful. That's with supplementaries. So look into that if you enjoy decorating your house. Then we have the last one, or the last two in this mod pack. Basically it's Variant 16X, and all the biomes you go, well, Variant 60X has this add-on, or another version of that with all the biomes as well. I'm later gonna go to that mod as well. So basically, as it says, it's in the title, it has more varieties of vanilla blocks. For example, you have now pool slabs and stone slabs. So basically using all the other blocks and making them into stairs, slabs, and complete blocks. And as well, you have different ores. It adds like to that, so you have diorite ores with like gold or with coal in it. Yeah, and some new flowers actually it adds as well. But yeah, very nice mod. So let's go to the next category, which is beautifiers in Ambient. So next up is world gen and ambient stuff. So basically everything that is with the environment and how the world is generated, you're gonna find in here. So let's start with snow real magic. It's not real magic, it's just basically, well, it adds to the flavor basically. You can have now like snow on top of things and they're covered, or they're covering the fences and stuff. So very beautiful. And as well, you can use actually snow. Wait a minute, I'm gonna type it in here. You can use snow basically to, well, it drops on the floor, that's the first thing, and if the snow drops into water, it's gonna turn into ice. That's basically it to snow real magic. Then we have the Abyss beginning, and as well the main mod, which is like the Abyss chapter 2. So we're gonna quickly go into this dimension. It's a very dark but very beautiful dimension, I think. A lot of lights, very nice to discover and enjoy. So the rest I'm gonna leave to you. It has a lot of new building blocks, a lot of new mobs, but I think the world generation speaks for itself how beautiful this mod actually is. Look into the video, it's actually quite stunning what they did. So if you look into the video they made about this mod, I think you're gonna be like, with the shader it looks way better as well. So let's go back and look into the next mod. So shortly gonna destroy this, so it's not annoying. So then we have atmospheric. Atmospheric basically is adding two biomes, two main ones, which are the rainforest and the dunes. So I'm gonna shortly hop over to one, which is basically one of the rainforest type. So normally you have like jungle biomes are very, well, dense and compact. So this one, as you see, is way more spread apart. It has also way more higher hills or like mountains, but very beautiful. A lot of new trees, as you see here as well, which I think are very beautiful. So yeah, a biome mod basically, which I think is very beautiful. A lot of new, beautiful, yeah, biomes. So next we have Beiju Blues. I hope I pronounced that well. So Beiju or Bayou is basically doing the same as atmospheric. We have a new biome, which are the Bayou biome. It's more on the swampy side, I think. But as well, as you see, it is still very different. As you see, like in these mountains here, very beautiful mountains, well made. But yeah, more swampy type of biome. You have two varieties of that as well. Very beautifully made. Check it out if you want to. But let's go back to the other mods. So now we go to Better Badlands. So you know the Badlands biome probably, and this one changes the Badlands biome and adds some new blocks. It makes them way more beautiful, but I'm not gonna go to it just to save a little bit more time. But it basically improves onto that. Check it out, look for yourself. Very beautiful. Better weather. Better weather is basically adding seasons, as well some new events for weather. So basically you have thunderstorms are a little bit different, the weather is different. Seasons are very beautiful, I think. So as you know, probably from other mods who have seasons, takes some time to get to your next season, but I think the feel of it is just makes it so much more alive. Especially this mod pack is concentrating a lot onto, yeah, making the world feel nice and well explorable, and there's tons of stuff in this mod pack to actually explore, so you should actually wander around. I think it's very, well, rewarding to go around and search new biomes or new mobs and new structures. Better default biomes. So better default biomes, basically we have more new mobs, but this is not the main thing. Basically upgrades the default biomes. It makes them more flush, more nice, more beautiful, I think. More new trees, we have new plants, and as well, like as you see, like for example the sand or the desert has like camels now, or we have actually the pigs, which is another one normally from another version of Minecraft. I think it is the earth one, but yeah, very beautiful new mobs and new biomes and upgrades to the old ones. So next up we have better ends. And we gonna go to the end itself. It basically improves the end, makes them way more nice, and as you see, wow, I really enjoy this actually. This is so beautiful. I think this is like, as the other mod, it speaks for itself. It looks way more beautiful than the original and just so, oh wow. I really like it, as you seem to know. Or yeah, it's very beautiful, beautifully made. Looks like handcrafted almost. So yeah, basically makes the end way better and way more beautiful. Then we have Desolation. Desolation adds 2 new biomes, though mainly it adds this one here. Everything looks almost like black and white. As well, the mobs, everything is different. We get 2 debuffs if you come into this biome. It's a mind, fatigue, and weakness, which you can turn off if you, I think, eat a certain fruit. So if you go into this area, take some stuff with you. Not always easy to go through it, but as well very beautiful. So basically new biomes. Then we gonna go back to Dungeon Plus. Dungeon Plus basically adds vanilla style dungeons to the overworld as well to others. We have new dungeon types, way more hard to beat actually, but very rewarding. So if you are into dungeons and RPG, then look into this one. So then we have dynamic surroundings. Everything you hear in the background, I'm turning a little bit louder, it's basically dynamic surroundings. Like the birds were chirping, or how it's called, were singing their songs. Waves when you go to the ocean biome. So makes it more nice actually to wander around Minecraft. You hear the wind when you're higher in the altitudes. Very beautiful. Then we have enhanced celestial blood moons and harvest moon. So basically this one plays a little bit with the lunar events, like the blood moon and the harvest moon, which are things from other games as well that you probably know already. Some are very helpful, some are not, one of the two. You're gonna guess it. But yeah, new events for like the celestial things. Then we have, coming to the next mod, is environmental. So basically the vanilla biomes get another upgrade, woo! And some new ones are added, some new biomes. So it plays along with the other ones. Very helpful for actually exploring. Well, as you see in the world here, which is not created with these ones, you see the varieties of the trees in here, which come with this one as well. So yeah, it's another one which buffs up your game. So, extended mushrooms. Extended mushrooms, basically now you have building blocks and all kinds of other things coming from mushrooms, and the mushrooms itself get an upgrade and changes the mushroom biome. Sorry, I'm forgetting that actually. The mushroom biome is actually changed, and it's way better now, I think. So give it a look into the mushroom biome. Then we have Frozen Up. Frozen Up buffs up or changes the colder biomes, so they are way more beautiful to go through. And as I said, what you're gonna probably see through this whole mod pack, the majority of the mods are aiming to give you a sense of a nicer feel of Minecraft, a feeling of like, well, I really enjoyed this, going through the woods and just enjoying the music or the environment and looking at different areas. That's very, I think, the focus of this mod pack. Then we have the biomes you go. I said already, like, I think it's variety 6 and X has another one for this one. So all the biomes you go, I'm just only gonna show you one because, well, there are over 80 actually, 80 biomes that are added to the overworld never end. So we have tons of new ones. We have new tree types, we have more than 200 blocks and items, so it's quite a big one. But as I said, you're probably gonna enjoy going through the world generation and actually finding a nice place to place your hut or your house and enjoy it. So let's go back to the other ones and speak about ore stone variants. So it's similar to the variant 6 and X I said. So basically the ores are added to different types of stone. It's a little bit like, I'm not quite sure, probably it's about like, I probably did something wrong with the resource packs, combining them, but normally it shouldn't like flicker like this. So basically all the ores are now in different varieties of stone. Then we go into rare ice. So sometimes it occurs that you've got to find loot under ice, and this is actually the mod called Rare Ice, where under the ice is sometimes loot which you can get if you destroy the ice, and then you can pick it up, which is quite cool, I think, for RPG and like exploring. It's very rewarding to find those things. Repurposed structures. So repurposed structures basically use the existing vanilla structures and gives them new varieties. So instead of like having the same jungle fortress basically, or temple I mean, you have a new variety of it. There are new pathways, there are new walls, very beautifully made. All over the world are new structures, which I think is very cool actually, to give you this feel of like exploring is rewarding instead of just running around and not finding anything. So Terra Incognita, sorry, the unknown land, basically improves as well on the world gen. You have new trees, new plants, new wildlife. You have these things which spread as well, like vines, but horizontally actually. You have different types of that. You have new flowers, as I said. You have new chests. I think this is a beautiful chest actually, if I look into it. Very beautifully made, this mod. But change the world generation and makes them way more, have more varieties of it. Terraforge, wow. This mod, I really love this mod because you can change, when you start to create a world, you can change how it is created. You can say like how high should the hills be or the mountains, how deep should the the dunes be or whatever. So you can redo much with this one. It takes some time, look up a tutorial for this one, but if you actually master this one, I think you can make stunning new worlds which you can enjoy then. Then the last two on the end side, we have these ones. It's the energetic dimension, and after that I'm going to the outer end. Both of them give us new biomes for the end though. So we gonna look into it. And whoop. So you're gonna see here how the end now is. It's way different, as you see, like these star-shaped things are now created. We have a different type of forest coming with new creatures. I don't see them at the moment. Oh, there. I think these ones. Yeah. They are new flower types, very beautiful. They're actually waving around. So very beautifully made. Normally you have like, yeah, kind of like almost like flies going around. So this is one thing. That's basically the energetic dimension. And now we're gonna go to a biome that is created by the outer end, which are these ones. It's a different type of forest. Very beautiful. And there are still like other things like mushrooms, which light up in the darkness. So I think the end is now way more vast and way more beautiful than actually, yeah, in the beginning, like the vanilla one. So I think these ones really change big time the end. Look into the end actually after you download this mod pack. I think you're gonna enjoy it. Towers of the Wild. Towers of the Wild basically adds new towers, which you can climb. You need some, well, parkour actually to learn it. Jumping skills, I think. I failed sometimes, but I'm probably a noob, so. But basically, it adds the towers of Zelda and puts them into the game. And on top of the tower, you have a waypoint and a chest, which offers you some reward. Traverse Reforged. Traverse Reforged has new biomes, like vanilla biomes more, instead of like having them like how the energetic dimension is, which are, I think, way different than the normal vanilla ones or standard vanilla ones. This one is just focusing on straight on the vanilla biomes and adds some new ones. Tumbleweed, well, well, it's a tumbleweed. Whee! So tumbleweed flies around. You can't stop them actually. You can walk into them, but oh, there it goes. Well, you can't stop them by glass or something. They're gonna go through it. If you punch one, they're gonna drop some stuff. Sometimes seeds, sometimes bone meal, but sometimes way more better stuff. So if you see some, you can also punch them, and they drop a lot of new things. Very helpful things actually as well. Water drip sound. So I'm gonna stay here and listen. Oh, I need to turn it on. It's not. Ah. Well, very, very silent you hear it, but basically it's only the droplet effect or like the sound of it. It's nice for like going into caves and stuff. So actually when we speak about it, there is Young's Better Caves and Young's Better Mineshafts. Basically it changes the caves, makes them way more nicer to explore, but actually we have the Caves and Cliffs update in here. So it's not 1.17, but someone created the mod that is basically 1.17, and the mod pack creator put it in here as well. So the mine shafts and the caves are way more beautiful with these two. And then we have last in this category, when dungeons arise. It's basically adding new dungeons and structures in the world to go through, fight through, and have a lot of new loot stuff, which are quite nice. So very beautiful mod actually to put in here. So as I said, a lot of mods that give you new biomes, new trees, new plants, just to feel, yeah, that Minecraft is feeling alive. And I think this is a very beautiful mod pack compilation when it comes to this category. So let's go to the next one. So the next category is equipment, armor and tools. So everything that is quite helpful to your game and basically gives you new stuff to use. So we're gonna start with Advancement Book and Advancement Plus Vanilla. It's kind of hiding behind there. So basically we have now an Advancement Book, which is in here. And you can pop that open and you have a nice new bar, which is combined with another achievement thing. But here you see these titles that I said with seal. You have that now under your name. If you actually completed the whole thing, then you have it under your name. And yeah, you can show off your stuff that you did actually in the game. There's a table for this as well. So instead of just having the book, you have a table for this. Then we have Akashic Tome. Akashic Tome basically adds only this book. So, and with this one you can store your different type of books, put it all into this one, so you don't have to, well, basically throw them all around. You can store them all in this book only. Very helpful for actually having it all, yeah, in one place basically. Then we have Antique Atlas and Antique Atlas Waystones. So we have this beautiful book. I really like this one because, oh, it reminds me of the old RPG games. You can basically look around on your map that you already explored to exploit this section here. You can actually put on, like, you can zoom in and out, and then with right click, with add marker here, you can as well add like things where you died, for example, or where you have a waystone or your death. Well, yeah, whatever you want to use, or a new mine or your house, whatever. So very cool. I think this is so beautiful. I really like this Modpack, as you can tell. So yeah, I'm gonna put this back here. And we're gonna go to the next one, which is Archer's Paradox. Archer's Paradox gives you these new arrows. Very helpful, way cooler than the regular ones. And they have, yeah, new things that you can do with them. It creates explosions and stuff, so these new arrow types. Then we have better shields. Actually, we don't have to have only the regular one. We have now some with netherite, with gold, diamond and iron, which give you, as you see, way more damage reduction, so 90%, and you can actually put enchantment books onto them. So to enchant the shields is way more better, way more beautiful actually to use these ones, or way better actually to use this in the combat. Corpse, instead of just having a grave, you have a corpse which normally decays into a skeleton. If you click onto it, you see the items that you have in there or had in there. With transfer items, you just gonna get it all. And well, there's another mod actually coming up which basically lets you revive someone who's lying on the ground. If he's dead in a certain period, you can revive them then. Comforts adds new sleeping bags, or sleeping bags in general, and hammocks. The sleeping bags and the hammocks, they don't reset your spawn point. The hammocks are used for skipping the day cycle, or the day, and the sleeping bags are there for skipping the night. Easier emerald tools and more. Well, now you can use emerald, ruby and obsidian, or ruby, to craft actually new tools and armors with it. So there are more actually things you can use with this one, and you can upgrade them as well. So I think very cool to actually use these materials now, and that you are able to do that. Ender chest, we can now put ender chests on horses, and I think this is very cool because, well, you can run around and look for stuff and put in an ender chest, and you always have them on. So I think it's very cool actually to use this one if you're more into exploring, with which I think is this mod pick really aiming for, is exploring. Great Eye of Ender. I wish this would actually be a thing that would almost be implemented into, well, vanilla itself, because you have now 3 different types of Ender Eyes. but for different dimensions. So this one is for the overworld, so this one is for the end, and this one is for the nether. You can crouch and right click to change what you're looking for, and these are only structures. So if you're looking for shipwrecks, for fortress, you basically can click through here to look for all these things, and as well for the end. So very, very cool, I think, to use them and to find these structures instead of just having to wander around the whole time. Nature's Compass, simple thing, but I think very mighty, very strong. So basically all the biomes you see, all the biomes that are installed in this mod pack, you can click on them and basically start search, and the compass is gonna point to that biome. Or you see the coordinates on the top left, where you basically can run to. But yeah, very helpful to find biomes that you really want to see. Works in other dimensions as well. Patchouli. Patchouli is, well, it's only actually an add-on that is used quite a lot in this one. It basically creates these books, or you can customize books that have all the same, well, overlay, I would say. This one is for Croptopia, then you have one for the Abyss one, this one, and the Outvoted, which I come back later. You can basically customize. This is more for developers actually, or for people who want to develop. It needs to be in here because all the 3 mods that are needing this need to have this mod installed. So don't worry about it if you're not a developer. Structured gel as well. This is mostly just for developers, for creating bigger things and creating stuff. So if you're not into that, you're probably gonna not use this actually. Then we have Traveler's Index. So Traveler's Index, you have now a new button. It's up here, which you can use, and you have different mods in here, as you see. So when you click on them, you basically can see how many blocks did I actually have from there. I have all these blocks collected, so basically that's what the mod does. It doesn't do really much more, just actually telling you how much you did. Then we have Tree Harvester. Tree Harvester, simple mod. I actually could have put it into small things. But basically, if you cut down a tree, it's completely gonna disappear. And that's basically it. That's Tree Harvester. It's nice for not actually having to, well, cut everything down. Then we have upgraded netherite. We have now netherite plus something, which is basically we have these materials here, which are golderite, blazerite, enderite, and stuff. So basically the netherite, you can upgrade that as well. So combining it with gold or with blaze rods or with spider eyes, you can create new armor types and new swords and tools. I think they look very cool. Very cool that they put it in here, and it's more like an endgame type of armor and gear, I think. Then we have useful backpacks. We have different types of backpacks, the small one, the large one, and the medium one here. You can upgrade them with filters as well, so if you want to pick up certain things and other things you don't want to pick up, you can actually put that in here as well. Well, there are different varieties of it, so you have different colors, what I want to say. You have tons more colors if you want to have different colored backpacks. Then we have Void Totem. So if you ever thought like, well, what if I die in the end, I lose everything basically, right? Well, not with this one. You basically get teleported if you fall into the void. And the Void Totem teleports you back up, so you still have time to, like, well, rescue yourself onto the mainland, or you can end up hurl back up. But yeah, it basically teleports you back up, so you can, yeah, you are saved. And then we have Waystones. Waystones, very cool mod. You can port or teleport to the next waystone, which are placed in the world and which you actually can craft yourself. So if you have locations which are very far apart, you can use waystones to teleport in between them. And you need these warp stones for it. So a lot of ender pearls you're gonna need for this stone actually. So the last one is XP tome. You can now store your XP into this book, which you can then unleash at a certain time if you need it, and then put it back. So very helpful book for actually storing your XP. So this would be everything in equipment and tools. Next up is mobs, dungeons, and animals. So basically that is like everything that is moving or has to do with the underground, with cave, with dungeons. It's gonna be in here. So let's have a look. We have tons of new mobs actually here. So most of them I didn't add, so don't be surprised that you're not gonna see every mob because it would be just so much. Alex mobs basically adds 43 new mobs. Mostly are real animals, but some are fictional, and some you probably never seen, though the world has it, or the real world has it. But yeah, they're drop bears, so Australians, be aware. The scary drop bear, to my Australian friends. So basically, yeah, very beautiful mod. I really enjoy it. I think it's very beautiful to actually go around. But as you see, some of them are quite hard to beat. And they are tiny ones as these fly. Then, Aquaculture 2. Aquaculture 2 basically, well, adds a lot of new fish to the ocean and to the sea, to the lakes. We have a lot of new ones, which is, I think, very beautiful. They are lacking. Then, if we don't have this mod, actually, I think the oceans are very empty. But this mod, well, it makes it so much nicer. So thank you for making it. Then we have Caves and Cliffs mod. So 1.17 is already here. That's what it feels like basically. And the mod pack or the mod creator is basically aiming at that to recreate the new update and to make it possible to already play it. So you're gonna find the new stuff that is included into the newest version are already in here. So enjoy it, explore it, and yep, very beautiful. Combustion fishing is basically, well, adding a rod, which is this one, the blazing fishing rod. I'm sorry, I'm speaking a little bit weird. So you can now fish basically in lava lakes. So if you want to go to another, you can find new stuff now there to fish in the lava lakes and find new loot. Very cool actually. Then we have Corrupted with a Skeleton Boss mod. I couldn't put him in here, but basically we have now a new boss which is very, very hard. You can summon it and then, well, have a try to beat him. It's not easy. I'm gonna tell you. Creatures and beasts. So it's actually not adding these that many mobs, and he's looking with his butt to us. But anyway, so yeah, some new mobs which are added to the game. Some small ones, some are foes. So they are not quite nice to us. So if you want to look into them, yep, very cool mod actually. Despawning eggs hatch. As you see, they're already populating. So what this mod does, if the chickens lay an egg and it's almost despawning, or if it despawns, then it actually spawns a chicken. So very cool actually to have your almost automatic chicken factory. If you just put a chicken there with this floor down here with hay bales, they're just gonna spawn new ones. And I think very cool actually to help to not have to breed all the time new eggs, new chicken. Dragon Mounts Legacy. So we have new dragons, as you see here. You can basically get them out and then tame them, and they can be your new pets, which you can fly, which is very cool, I think. Very cool to ride dragons and to have varieties of dragons instead of just one. It's a very cool mod actually. So dungeon mobs. if you know Minecraft dungeons, you're probably gonna know all of the mobs that are included in here. There are almost all, sorry, all the mobs from dungeon mobs are in here. Sorry. So you're gonna find all these ones in this mod pack now. Very cool actually to put them in here. I think they have as well new animations, which I come to later. But very cool actually to have these mobs as well. Earth mobs. So what you would probably think, well, these are from Minecraft Earth. They are now implemented in here and are beautifully made, I think, as well. As you see here, the violet which very cool that they made it like this. So I think very cool actually that we have now so many new mobs in this game. Enchant with mob. So this I think comes from Minecraft Dungeons, and basically lets you enchant with this mob instead using the enchanter or having to use something else. Goblin traders. So goblin traders basically add these new goblins, which you can use to trade. So they have things that you probably don't get another way. So you have, for example, like ancient debris, which you can change for netherite scrap, which is I think very cool. So you don't have, well, you have one here more. So they have a lot of cool stuff to trade, but they are not always easy to find. If you ignore them, they're gonna punch you, so beware. So exotic birds. So exotic birds adds a lot of new type of birds. Well, cool, very nice for the atmospheric feel here actually. So a lot of new birds. Hardcore revival, and that is a mod that I talked about when I talked about the corpse mod. Basically, your friend can revive you if he finds your corpse in a certain amount of time. He can press down onto your corpse and can revive you. Instead of losing all your stuff or having to run back, he can basically bring you back up. Guard villagers. Guard villagers basically adds new type of villagers which will defend the village, and there are new abilities for other villagers. So, well, very often the villagers die out because the zombies kill them and the golem doesn't really does its job. So this one really helps with it to defend the village and to save them. So yeah, very cool. Odd water mobs. So most of these are water mobs, which are added. Normally they live on deep sea in reality, but we have them now here in Minecraft, which is I think very cool. Let's see, anglerfish, I think. We have this huge crab here and spider crab, so very cool for actually making the water way different. Revamped wolf. So revamped wolf upgrades the wolves. You have now packs. You have a leader to the pack, the wolf pack. You can now feed meat straight from the ground, so you can throw meat on the ground. They're gonna eat it. Then you have a better AI for the wolf. You can put on wolf armor and so much more. So very cool mod actually to make the wolf a nice thing to walk with you. Outvoted. So if someone went to the Minecon, you're probably gonna see or have seen these mobs just differently. So someone added them actually to the game, and the Modpack creator here put this mod as well in here. So we have the Kraken or Kraken, as we say in German. We have the hunger here, the small ones which is found in the desert, and we have the wildfire, which is way more harder to beat. They're gonna die in the open world though if you don't have lava, so be careful. Then we have Straw Golem Reborn. So if someone knows the old version, basically these ones are helping you harvest stuff, wheat, whatever is on your fields, and bring it to the next chest or the nearby chest. Very helpful for farming. The Conjurer. The Conjurer is basically a mob that is added with a new structure, which I think is a theater. So he's on the stage, and it's gonna be a little bit harder to fight him actually. So be careful if you encounter him. It's not quite easy to beat him. Then we have the King of the Villager. So actually what this mod does is it's this throne here which you can craft, and then you can have like a village king, which is this one. So the first villager which basically touches the throne is gonna be the king of the village, which busts up the village, and yep, very cool. Upgrade aquatic, the same as aquaculture. We have new mobs. Well, this one is gonna drown if it's gonna be in there, but we have new mobs for the water, and as well some flying ones as this one, and this one which I don't understand as well. It's a sponge type of mob, but well, upgrades the sea and the lakes. And the last one in this category is a wandering trapper. The wandering trapper normally has a wolf, which is probably died down there, but very cool thing to have him. He is gonna trade with you. He's gonna trade for pelt, which you can use for new things. He's hard to beat, so if he has a musket, or I think let's call it this in English, he's gonna kill you, so be careful if you want to kill him. He has a dog that is gonna chase you, but normally he's very friendly, so keep him friendly, please. Anyway, let's go to the next category. So next up we have Game Changer Miscellaneous. I think it's called like that. So basically everything that doesn't fit into the other categories you're gonna find in here. So small things which, well, expand over the other categories. So let's start with Jade. So Jade is basically adding progression bars, status of items. It adds painting names, armors, or the status of armor, potion effects. So basically tooltip kind of mod to help you show you actually what you're looking at or what you need for a certain thing. Auto planting forest. I didn't actually show you this, but normally the saplings plant themselves if they despawn. So if they would be despawning, and if there's grass or dirt under them, they're gonna replant as a tree basically. Very cool. Then we have back tools. Back tools basically puts the last tool you use onto your back, so people can see it if the last one is a nice weapon or a bad weapon. So then we have bad benefits, better advancements, and better burning. As I talked about the advancements or achievement book, this one helps with that. It changes the HUD and how everything looks on the achievement book. The fire works way better now, so not the furnace fire, but I put it in here for just decoration. So basically, if, for example, a skeleton is on fire, it shoots an arrow, it shoots a fire arrow, which is, I think, cool. If a mob is on fire, it has a small chance to set the target on fire it is actually attacking. So that is cool as well. Well, yeah. There's a lot more to better burning, but there are some things. Bad benefits, basically, if you sleep, you get certain buffs and you heal up your HP. So it's very cool actually. Instead of just skipping the day, it actually does something. Then we have better spawner control, and better third person. Better spawner control, basically, for example, the blaze, they spawn even if you put 5 torches around. With this one, they don't actually. When there are 5 torches nearby the spawner, things won't spawn. It's very cool, I think. Very helpful to actually, well, control the spawner. And the better third person, I can show you this way. Normally, the whole person would turn around if I go like this. But with this one, you actually can look fully around the character, which is, I think, very cool, instead of just having to swap to this one and then going to the other one. So very cool, I think. Well made, like, mod. Then let's go to the next one, which is Bountiful. Bountiful basically add small quests or a bounty board, you have this one, and then you can see like, oh wow, I get a rare bounty if I do the next 48 minutes, 84 minutes, these things. And then you can come here and basically get your reward. So very cool actually to have some type of quests in here. Brazier basically adds this mod, the crazed, and helps to not, well, normally, like for example in villages, it's very hard and you don't want always to light up every single section in the village. With this one you can make a brazier which lets certain mobs not spawn, which is I think very cool to use this one instead of just having to light up every single part. Basia bees, wow. How often did I talk about Basia bees? So Basia bees basically adds new type of blocks, but as well new entities or new mobs like the bumblebee. It adds to the bumble zone, if you know that one. So it makes the bees way more useful and way more better. We have candles actually coming with it, so very cool mod actually to help with the bees. Elytra, careless API, and customizable Elytra. Basically, they all play with Elytra. They are all like helping. Either you can put the Elytra on your chest instead of having to remove your chest plate. You can put it on your chest plate, so you don't have to remove your chest plate. So let's reform that sentence so you actually understand that. So you can use the Elytra on the normal chest plate, so you don't have to remove your normal diamond chest plate or whatever. So it's just in a new slot, which is I think very cool. There's a nicer way to fly the Elytra, so very cool I think to customize it as well. So you can have, for example, different colors with the Elytra, which is I think also as well very cool. Then you have campfire spawn and tweaks. And campfire spawn, basically it's changing the spawn point. If you put a campfire down, you can adjust then your spawn point. So it's cool for exploring and to be revived in the last at the last campfire. So very cool. And you have different types of campfires now with campful, so new wood types or different wood types, and as well different fires coming with it. Carry on. So if you want to transfer your chest, it's very often a painful job, and I think carry on is, that's a beautiful mod. I really love this mod because I really don't want to resort all the chests, and now with carry on you can take the whole chest and walk away with it and place it down, and all the items are still in there. So very cool. Then we have cat jammies. So yeah, the cats jam basically to the music, which I think is very cool, but I need to take it out, guys. Sorry. Anyway, cavalry. I think that's. Oh wow, that I butchered this word. Anyway, it changes the way how you can fight on horses, so it's way easier and way nicer to fight on horses now, instead of having to somehow actually hit the people. It's way nicer made now, so yeah, check this out. Then we have charm reforged. I think this one actually goes into the decoration and building blocks more. It's just a sheer variety of certain blocks, like for example the woodcutter is different now, with birch type of things, like everything is in a different way. We have actually an ender pearl block, which I don't know why we need to use it, but well, it's nice actually to store your ender pearls. We have obsidian stairs and slabs, and we have, I think this is a cool thing, you can store your books in here, and they actually change the appearance of the bookshelf. So as you saw, the bookshelf changed. If I put a new book in here, it normally changes the look of the bookshelf itself. Then we have craftable deeds. So if you're in the multiplayer, world and you are struggling with actually your friends because they're annoying and they can't keep their hands off your buildings, well, you can use this one. It's a deed. Basically, you can assign a certain area where it's only, well, to a certain owner. So this one is for me, for example. So you actually can assign a certain plot to a certain person, and only that person actually can build blocks on there, and actually it is protected against blast attacks or creepers and so forth. Then we have Discord integration, simple Discord rich, and simple voice chat. So these things, these ones are connection between Discord and Minecraft. So all the things that you're doing on Discord, you can do now with Minecraft together. And all the chats that you have in Discord, you can implement them in here. So very cool. And then simple voice chat is actually a very, very cool thing. Because, well, it's, how's it called? Oh yeah, it is called proximity chat or proximity voice chat. So you have that now in game. So if you're nearby a certain Minecraft player, you can speak with them over voice chat in game, which is, I think, very cool to use actually. So now I have to show you this one, which is extended bone meal. Extended bone meal, basically you can use bone meal now on sugarcane, cactus, or cacti and vines. So you don't have to wait until they actually grow. You can use now bone meal on them, which is, I think, very cool instead of having to wait. Craft tweaker. So craft tweaker is basically changing. You can change recipes. You can add new commands and scripting for the game. So as the other ones, like the gel basically that I talked about in the equipment section. This one is more for developers actually to make new crafting recipes or new commands. Then we have fresh animations and Geckolib. So Geckolib helps with implementing bedrock animations. Normally you can't have that in the Java edition. So this one actually implements this to Java, which is, oh, it's fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. You have animations in Java edition. That's so cool. And then you have fresh animations, which is basically, well, giving new animations to the mobs, and it looks way better with this one. So fresh animations for the mobs, which is, I think, very cool. So upcoming is golden hoppers. We have new type of hoppers which help to well, they're actually like normal ones, but you have different filters now with them and transportation. So a very cool thing actually to use. Yep, give it a try. Then inventory hut plus GEI enchantment, GEI enchantment info, GEI integration, GEI professions, GEI tweaker, and GEI and GER. Wow. So this is GEI. Very helpful thing for actually finding out crafting recipes, or if you're in the cheat mode or in the game mode creative, you can use this actually for building fast things fast. You find blocks very easily. You find basically what villager does what with GI professions. You can find all the recipes. You have mob drops. You have basically the informations about a mob, basically how much damage, how much health. You have the information about ore generation or structures. That's very cool. So a lot of stuff that's very helpful, as well for enchantments as well, as you see here. And then you have a HUD plus, or inventory HUD plus. So basically the overall how things look, the HUD, you can customize that, which I think is very cool. So we come into my last mods in this section, and these are the open blocks elevator, which are basically elevators which you can craft in different colors. Very cool actually for moving around in your house or wherever you want to have them. Then we have personality, which are basically emotes. Well, now I can't show you this way. Yeah, so you can actually show different poses, like you have here. So very cool. You have as well new animations and actions. So very cool thing to make it more feel alive when it comes to interacting with other players. Polymorph. So sometimes there are crafting recipes which have more than one option actually. So this one actually helps. I don't have it here at the moment, but sometimes there are more crafting recipes to a certain item. This one lets you actually choose now between the different ones. So if there are crafting recipes that are colliding or having the same result, this one helps with this. We have Quark. So Quark is, well, I see this mod in every mod pack almost. Basically compilation of small things. It upgrades the caves, the redstone. You have new types of redstone, or the way how redstone works. You have tons of new building blocks. You have stalactites, stalagmites, and a lot of new mobs. So a lot of small stuff. You have a boomerang which can mine. Wow, isn't that cool? You can mine in the distant. So yeah, very cool mod, I think. Runelic basically adds a runic font to the game, so you can use it actually to, well, write differently stuff. Very cool to actually use for signs. Should have used it, hey? So yeah, and then last is the Twitch chat integration. So basically you can integrate the Twitch chat into your game, which I think very cool. Yep, very cool mods are included into this section, so enjoy it, and let's go to the last category. So the last category is magic, which, well, very tiny actually. There's not really magic included into this mod, other than these two, which is basically Illumient, which adds new enchantment books with enchantment like these ones, Vengeance, Shockwave, and so forth. So some new enchantment books, and Easy Magic, which is, I think, very cool. You get now actually what it says on there, what you get with it, and the enchantment table has an inventory, so everything you put in here, it's floating around. You actually can change how it does that. You can put it, let it be on the enchantment table itself. As well, it changes that you don't have to have an air block in between the bookshelves and the enchantment table, which you normally have. You can actually put straight them next to the enchantment table and it's not doing anything. You can put them straight in the water actually. You can still use all the bookshelves, which is quite cool. You have more tooltips now with the enchantment table, and you can automate or make an automation to enchanting, which is cool, I think. So you can have certain things that are always enchanted. Yep, that's basically it, and magic. And that would be everything actually to this mod pack. I really hope you enjoyed it. Very beautiful. I think this mod pack has a lot to offer, and as I see it, it's a mod pack that is on the rise. It's very cool, going back to the Minecraft feel instead of having tons of new modern stuff. So it's going back to the basic feeling of Minecraft and enjoying Minecraft. So it's very, very cool, I think, to use this mod pack. So enjoy it, leave a like or subscribe, and have a nice day actually. So we're gonna see you soon when I look into another mod pack or another mod. See ya!